All right, it's Tuesday, so we take a check on the plus side and make you feel good about some things happening around our state.
That's right. Starting with civics. State officials announced the winner of the 2026 Maine State Civics B. On June 11th, 20 finalists from across the state competed in a live competition focused on knowledge, problem solving, and community engagement. An eighth grader named Marin from Mount Ararat Middle School took first place, earning $1,000 in prizes. Marin also gets to go to Washington, D.C. to represent Maine at the National Civics B Championship in October. Another student from Mount Ararat Middle School earned second place and a $500 prize.
Anybody else in this contest?
Third place went to a student from East Machias.
Hey!
Okay.
Machias on the board.
That third place prize was $250.
Awesome.
All right, a cycling group based in Portland received something to improve the local biking experience for everyone.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the year. The Portland Bike Club, they won that competition run by the company Bike Lane Sweeper. So the company was asking bike groups to submit some videos about why they specifically could be using a sweeper. The entry submitted by Jesse Arbories from Portland Bike Party, they were chosen as the winners. And the sweeper just got delivered recently. The Bike Lane Sweeper is the first of its kind to be used in Portland. It attaches to the back of a regular bike and it sweeps up all the debris. Pretty simple. Arbories says he's hoping that this Bike Lane Sweeper makes cycling in the city a lot easier and a lot more accessible to everyone.
So this is a big initiative, trying to get the bike lanes clean so it can be safer and more accessible to people. A clean bike lane is a safe bike lane. If you have to avoid debris in the bike lane, that's going to kick you out into traffic, and that's going to put you in a dangerous situation.
And the group is still looking for some volunteers to help use that Bike Lane Sweeper if you'd like to do that.
All right.
That'd be great.
No,
you go.
One of Maine's most recognizable roadside landmarks stood along Prospect Harbor for more than 6 decades until recently when Big Jim was taken down for some restoration.
Sure, now he is back and is seemingly better than ever. A new Center Maine's Akua Duval has the proof.
The big man really stood out to us and we said we need to pull over.
He never hauled a trap, never set a day at sea, but he's one of Maine's most famous fishermen.
A lot of people have strong feelings, positive feelings about working the sea and what it provides, and Big Jim is just a symbol of that.
And now all 40 feet of him stand tall at the Penobscot Marine Museum in Searsport. Visitors gathering Saturday to celebrate the return of Big Jim to his original form as part of its summer Sardine Land exhibit.
What better way to advertise an exhibit about the history of Maine's sardine industry than to have an original sign from that time brought back?
Big Jim's story begins in 1959 in Kittery. Built to promote Maine's booming sardine industry, the towering figure once greeted travelers along U.S. Route 1 as they entered the state. He was then moved down east to Prospect Harbor in the 1970s, where he stood near the Stinson Sardine Cannery for decades.
If anybody wanted to know how to get to Stinson's, they just say look for the Sardine Man in Prospect Harbor.
Retired plant manager with the Stinson Cannery, Peter Colson, says Big Jim ended up outlasting the very industry he was built to promote.
Well, just bring back memories for everybody. It kind of represented the town having that statue there.
But after decades of wear and tear and relentless coastal weather, the Penobscot Marine Museum stepped in, working with Belmont Boatworks to carefully disassemble and strip the structure.
You can do bento and...
It was then repainted by the WOW Collective, including the return of his iconic sardine can.
It's most exciting for us to be a team of women painting large-scale murals and being a part of the history of Big Jim.
Now Big Jim is once again impossible to miss, standing along U.S. Route 1 through the summer.
I think the man's pretty entrancing. I think that the idea of Sardine Land is pretty unique, and I guess we wanted to check it out and figure out what it's all about.
Standing as a reminder of the people and industries that shaped Maine's shoreline for a new generation.
Say sardines!
In Searsport, Akua Duval, News Center, Maine.
Love the guy dressed up as Big Jim. All right, now to this, a bird is back home after a brief journey around Penobscot County.
Yeah, Bangor police say that workers at Fielder's Choice Ice Cream, love that place, found this small cockatiel inside their storage garage yesterday. They called the police for some help. The bird actually flew right over to the hand of a lieutenant who showed up. Police say the bird was briefly placed in protective custody. They're trying to figure out where it came from. Turns out the Hamden public safety officials had recently reported a missing bird, fit the same description. They did figure out the bird's name is Sunny, and now Sunny is back with its owners, enjoying some nice bird treats, apparently. So.
I love the fact that as soon as a police officer showed up, the bird flew right to him and perched right on his finger like, oh, you're here to help me.
There you go.
I love that.
Smart one.
All right.
So we've talked about Mainers who have come down with soccer fever right now that the competition's underway in the World Cup.
Right. Thousands of fans showed up at the first Team USA watch party hosted by Maine's prop soccer team, Portland Hearts of Pine. News Center Maine's Ryan Bell takes us there.
World Cup fever finding its way to Portland.
I'm excited for the World Cup because we love the atmosphere. We love Team USA, of course.
Coming out because it's the World Cup, and I think you got to get hyped for it.
The Portland Hearts of Pine hosting its first ever World Cup watch party at the State Theater as the United States men's national team kicked off its campaign against Paraguay.
We're sold out at Fitzy, and we have a community that we're still trying to include and be able to celebrate soccer with.
I think we always believed in the power of the community here, but we're humbled all the time by how people show up.
And show up they did. Club officials estimate a near sellout, with more than 1,500 people coming to watch the beautiful game.
For the average person to go to a World Cup game right now, you'd have to get a second mortgage. So I think FIFA should look at what the Hearts are doing and take notes.
We're season ticket holders with the Hearts, and just the environment that they've created for soccer in Maine has been so awesome.
The Hearts of Pine say they will host more watch parties throughout the tournament that they hope will grow soccer in Maine and across the country.
You can come together on the pitch, and it doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak, but you speak the language of soccer.
But that's the beautiful thing about the sport. It is the world's game and it brings us all together.
In Portland, Ryan Bell, News Center, Maine.
The U.S. men's national team beat Paraguay 4-1 in that first match.
Good stuff. All right, that'll do it for this week's edition of The Plus Side. We're back with more right after this.